Hey, how's it going? It is all the news all the time. My name is Adam, and it's so nice of you to be here. And we're looking today at this appalling, yes, straightforward, appalling TV show by the name of Velma. I've had the misfortune of having to watch the first episode, and it's super bad. It's not often that I see something this bad, but this is new, considering how just goddamn awful it is. So let's have a little look, so that we don't actually have to suffer this, and you don't have to watch this film, this TV show. Scooby Doo, spin-off Velma, isn't funny. It's not Scooby Doo. It's openly straightforward racist against white people. This is coming from Scottish Daily Express. Leading Scottish stand-up comic Leo Gersey, maybe, a vocal critic of the woke agenda that has ruined so many of our favourite TV shows and movies, says the new cartoon is a vanity project for social activism. Usual situation, it's the latest TV show that is focused on social activism at the expense of telling a fun, engaging story. Never mind that white characters have been turned into ethnic characters. Of course they have. Velma is now Indian, Daphne is Asian, Shaggy is now black. It's 2023. We expect white culture to be erased in the name of progress, and in a way that would lead to prosecutions if it happened in reverse. Can you imagine the outrage if the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was remade as a white family and then spent the entire programme dismissing and cursing black people? Could you imagine? But no, that's fine if it's Velma. You can have a whole TV show just relentlessly racially discriminating against white people. That's fine and dandy. And it is openly racist against white people. We see this across the media. On the rare occasion you find a white man in any advert, they'll be representing something negative like gambling addiction or violence against women. Velma is the same. The one white member of the gang, Fred, is the butt of all jokes. In one clip, he's humiliated based on his class and race. I kid you not. I kid you not with this thing. There's a screen capture from the show. It says, "You cheat off me in Spanish because you think I'm Mexican." This is Velma talking to Fred, saying he cheats off her in Spanish because he thinks she's Mexican. Jesus. Do you remember Fred from the Scooby Doo? I mean, this isn't the guy, but do you remember Fred from Scooby Doo? Brave, upstanding, calm, rational. Well, in this, whatever this is, Velma, he's a coward who has not gone through puberty, and he has no penis of any type. That's the basic concept, and that's what they keep talking about with this guy. It's just bizarre. It's mean-spirited. It's hostile. It's overtly racist. It's unpleasant. It's incomprehensible. There's so many things that just don't make any sense. No logic to the story. This is meant to be a murder mystery about a girl at the school who gets murdered. But then one of the characters casually throws a knife. These characters casually throws a knife and chops another student's legs off. And they cut the leg off. And no one bats an eyelid. If that's the sort of logic of this world, then why are we concerned about a murder if you can just throw knives and chop people's legs off and nobody even says anything about it? There's no logic involved. You might say, oh, it's a cartoon. Even cartoons have to have some sort of basis of logic behind them. They do. They need some sort of logic, otherwise nothing makes sense. Like this thing doesn't make sense. And the whole thing is just a series of stereotypes. It's the whole stereotypes, the hostile stereotypes of every type. Let's have a little look at what they're saying. Velma is the same. One member, the white gang member, is Fred, always seems to be the butt of the jokes. In one clip, Velma publicly humiliates him based on his class and race. Nice. We're then shown Fred hilariously failing to be able to cut knife food with a knife and fork. Because who's ever heard of an upper class white person being able to use cutlery? Well, that's normally the thing. If you're an upper class white person, you usually can use a knife and fork. This guy should be able to use a knife and fork, but he's so stupid, he's so childish, he's so pampered that he can't even use cutlery. What? The basic premise of the humour doesn't make any sense, apart from the adherence to white man bad mantra of wokeism. Of course, Velma slips him a copy of the feminine mystique and inspires his great awakening and new obsession with the gender pay gap. Christ on a bike. What the what? Scooby Doo, where are you? Where are you, Scooby? Because you're not here. None of this is anything to do with Scooby Doo. This is a direct self-insert of Mandy Kaling, designed to insult everyone as much as possible. It's just bizarre as well. The rest of the show isn't much better. Velma is a lesbian, of course she is, why not? And she's 15. And the promo for her show says her jumper is big enough for two, suggesting she's already hooking up. But the normalisation of underage queer sex is, of course, standard for the woke media. Norbert, Shaggy, right? Why is why is a beta male simp? Oh, he's terrible, absolutely terrible. Just sucking up to her constantly. Does her homework, follows her around, endlessly texting her, telling her how marvellous she is. Jesus Christ! I mean, if this is not some vanity project for this lunatic, I don't know what is. And the constant nods to the audience and this meta breaking the fourth wall thing is just terrible. It's just terrible. The fun in the original was the subtext that Shaggy was off his tits on drugs, but now it's openly stated it's not funny. It's another bland political point, and that's it. The whole thing is just bland politics constantly. This endless wokeactivism and endless social justice activism. Every single thing is feminism and the patriarchy and white people bad and fat phobia and trans rights and God, on and on. And this is comedy. It's just shambolically bad. It really is terrible. Endless wokeactivism. Let's have a little Rotten Tomato scores, some critics scores. The critics, they think 55% because they're fools. The audience, 7%. 7%. Let's have a look at some of these actual scores, some of the audience reviews. Not even worth watching the first 10 minutes. Says Adam, good name, I like you guy. Half a thing. He can't give nothing, so he's got to give half a thing, half a star. Philip, too many P's. It's trying too hard to be funny while being completely tone deaf. Show could have been great. Could have been, yeah. But it's worse than the opposite. Worse than the opposite of not great. Not worth any time. Should probably be career ending. Sadly not. No, it won't. For the writers as well as the cast who agree to perform this rubbish. Aaron, Ron, he says, do something better with your time. Watch paint dry. Do anything. Do anything. Alem says, what were they thinking? Oh my God. Raphael, good name. I created this account specifically to post this review so no one else wastes a second of their time watching this drill. It's terrible. Terrible. That's a good name. Himmanru, I think. It keeps getting worse. Horrendous. Andrew H. This guy's a lunatic. It's not meant to be Scooby Doo. Then why is it called Velma? Why is it called Velma then, Andrew? If it's not the Scooby Doo intellectual property. Why is it called that, Andrew? Go into it with an open mind. Pretend it's not Scooby Doo. And sense if raunchy humour, you will likely enjoy it. Says Andrew, we don't believe a word of it. Alistair, how is this even considered an acceptable idea for a TV show? Only giving half a star. It won't go any lower. Flip case is unfortunate, miserable excuse for show, offensive and horrible at the same time. I'm with you, Flip K. Amelia, writing is horrible, none of the jokes landed, the characters are completely unlikable, barely have any ties to the previous traits. It's not Scooby-Doo, it's something else entirely. It's a hostile, hatred-filled rant of social justice talking points from a highly privileged, wealthy woman who no one ever says no to. Ron case is completely repugnant. Terrible show made by terrible people. They should feel sad about it. Sammy's got a lot to say about it. He says, I can't believe someone approved this show to be released. I made an account just to share how unbearably awful and cringy this show actually is. It's not even the race swapping that bothers me, but none of the original Scooby-Doo characters would act the way these fakes do. Literally just drop the Scooby-Doo IP and maybe it'd have a better chance, but no, it's worse than that. They personally want to spit in the face of anyone that likes Scooby-Doo, and the titular character Scooby is nowhere to be seen as a supposed origin story. I don't see how any character magically changes skin complexion over the years, nor do I see how any of these people can become friends with how bitter, angry and spiteful they seem to be. Complete character assassination, that's the very truth going on. All it made me do was want to cancel my HBO subscription. Rage bait. Yeah, that's maybe what it is. They're doing stuff that's so offensive to so many people that they're going to get angry watching. But no, not past the first episode, because Jesus, it's bad. It's so bad. Not for kids, not for adults, not for humans, not for anybody. I've been confined to a wheelchair for 27 years. When my little sister turned on this show for us to watch, it was so bad that it convinced me to stand up and turn it off. Thank you, the writers of this show, for getting me out of a life confined to a wheelchair. Very nice. Thanks, Quinn. Congratulations on your miraculous recovery. This is a show nobody asked for, needs to be cancelled, never seen the show, it goes against its own fan base. Quite like this one. Worst animated show ever made? Question mark. Could be, Dave, could be. Let's see if that gets there. I would like to think Velma will go down in history as the moment we hit rock bottom as a culture. But the show itself is proof that this is probably not going to be the case. And that's the best thing I can say about it. It will probably not be remembered as the worst piece of visual so-called entertainment ever created. But it won't be far off. You're not wrong, John. Havista says, I see what they're trying to do, but good God, it was a struggle to watch. Don't think I'll be watching the rest with a half a star. I don't think so. Very sloppy writing, sketchy animation. Not a fan. Uma Bosta. Prefere seguego para não ver essa monstruosidade. Yeah, exactly, Gabriel. Exactly so. As unwatchable as they come. Ruined Scooby. So sad everything has to become so one-dimensional in humour. Just avoid. Could not watch the whole thing. Danny, though. Danny loves it. What does Danny say about it? It seems like it's still finding its footing. Even with 4 stars, the first thing he can do is say, it's not really good, you know. But it's a lot of fun so far, says Danny. It's ridiculous and silly on purpose. I'm interested to see where it will go, says Danny. So there is one person so far who likes it. I'm looking for more positive ones now. Let's try and find some positive reviews. It's not going well. My search is not going well. Positive reviews. Come on, we can do it. Maybe we can't. Come on, we can do this. We can find something positive. Scrappy Doo. Scrappy Doo is better than this, Peter. I remember Scrappy. Oh, there we go. Nina T. Third time trying to review. Too lazy to write it all again. That's the best one. We've got to find a proper. Oh, it's not even. I think you get a gist that he thinks it's fantastic. Okay, I can't find a positive review that I can read. We'll keep going. We're going to try and find one positive review in English. It's not going well. This search is not going well for us. 3, okay, just about. Cool idea, but a little too much self-conscious snark, not enough fun. Overabundance of snark seems to suffocate any... This is not a positive review. Seems to suffocate any potential good vibe of the show. Scoob was a show about friends. Yeah, this is not. This is about people who hate each other, hate everyone, and hate white people. Fighting crime. No one here seems to be friends. They're not. Or intent on having friends. They're not. Fairly dire portrayal of school. Is this really a positive review? Concept as potential. Okay, that doesn't count as a positive review. There you go. Mark S. Complete lunatic. Mark S. Love it, he says. Interesting, well written, refreshing take. Brilliant. That was page something like 14 or something. Absolutely shocking. And decide to say Mindy Kaling, HBO Max's Scooby Doo, Velma under fire for sexualising teen and just being unfunny. It's much worse than that. It is much worse than just being unfunny. It's not unfunny. It's hostile. It's rude. It's portraying so many negative stereotypes about everybody, about literally everything. It's way more than just being unfunny. So if you get the chance to avoid Velma, make sure you grab that opportunity. And if someone says to you, you know, what should we watch? Let's watch Velma. Then lean over and smack them and do something else. That's my opinion on this as appalling. Absolutely appalling. So let me know your thoughts. Is it as appalling as I say? Yes, it is. Yes, it is very much so. And it's, man, it's bad. Absolutely. I was rolling my eyes so much they nearly came out of my head, and that would have been unfortunate. Yeah, let me know your thoughts, and like and subscribe. And I'm going to play some more Potion Craft, I think, and I will see you guys later.